Oh, the happy sounds of people getting off of work. That's what I hear all around me right now. Just kidding. Let me get my water and cover up my stuff. Because there be crazy people around here. One's different than the ones I am. My coworker pointed out that I know all the crazies. And I don't know how to tell her I might be one of them. I was like, oh yeah, that guy. How am I supposed to tell him that I met him sleeping in the park? Not because I was homeless at the time, just because I needed a fucking nap. So, this one is kind of hard to make. But not really. If I could find a way to get comfortable. Okay, I'm trying to think. I'm like, how do I usually sit out here? I usually sit looking this way, but I don't know if that's weird for me to be talking to you guys. And I'm looking out at the water, which is what I usually do. Yeah, dude, let's just be normal. Let's just be normal. So, before I worked down here, this is where I used to walk like 3-4 times a week. This isn't always where I usually sit. I usually sit at the end of like the beach part of the pier. But that's about to close in like 30 minutes. They love their rules down here in St. Petersburg. Ever since it became like a vacation destination. Being appealing to vacationers means not doing crime, which means not allowing people to be in certain places after certain hours. But what I wanted to cover in this video is why I haven't posted the things that I've been wanting to post. And turns out making something like the project I am trying to make, or that I am making something like the project that I am born to create is just as much an internal work as it is external. I'm really proud of myself for having specific ethical goalposts, I suppose you could call it, that I wanted to hit through this project. And one of the big ones was I don't want to have a podcast like a man. I don't want to do things in the pre-described way because I feel like the technological era is just starting. It's literally just starting. And we already, like, YouTube is a baby in terms of the human experience. So for there to be an ascribed way to do YouTube, that doesn't make sense. So I wanted to do something that feels natural and fluid and is genuinely an extension of myself, rather than create the message I think I'm supposed to create in the medium that is considered to be available. Yeah, I just don't want, like, I knew, I was like, I want to make my art like me. And this required undoing a lot of, oh my gosh, this is where the dolphins also catch mullet, so you get to see a lot of them, and they'll swim right up here because they can corner them easier. But okay, the internal work required for that then was like, okay, if I'm not gonna do YouTube or podcasting or social media the same way as I've seen it done before, that means I don't need plastic surgery to become a creator. That means I don't need like a ring light and my makeup done a certain way. And I still love that. Like, I still think learning how to make something look really good that a lot of YouTube artists have perfected, I think is like still really cool. But I don't know. I was just like, okay, how do I do this in a way that matters? And I was like, okay, how you do it also matters. Like the people you collaborate with, the things you talk about, what you put out into the world, like every inch of it matters. I think there was a lot of pressure on me because I feel like, okay, if this is something God wants me to do and says is going to be fruitful for my life, then that means if someday I create something a lot of people are going to want to see, they're going to do their history and their fact checking on me, and they're going to listen to and watch the things that I did in the beginning. And I want to capture what it means to live this life, because if somebody reads my writing someday, if somebody looks at one of my paintings, if somebody watches one of my videos and it changes who they are, they will have the ability to actually like go back and look through my whole life, which is something we haven't really been able to do with artists before. So I'm like, this might not be the one, but this is the type of things people will see in the past. And I mean, that sucks as an artist right now, just thinking about how we tear down all the greatest artists that have lived in the past and always been able to find something that they did wrong in their life and what they should have done better. But I think it's because these conversations need to be had. I think being in the public eye makes you a conversation piece, but those conversations are what's propelling us forward. But that's the thing. So I also started this project under the ideal that conversation is something that can propel us forward individually, as a family, community, and as a nation. What the technological era has provided for us is the ability to have a group conversation similar to what we know of as democracy. Like, democracy is the idea a lot of people help make the decisions, so everybody gets a say. We're still perfecting it, but the internet is allowing us to have conversations at a rapid rate. When you're on social media, you are a part of a conversation. You are weaving the thread of society. You are contributing to the culture as much as you are ingesting the culture. That is where the web of our lives live. So much of my life is online. So much of who I am is online. So much of your online life affects who you are in real life. And it's just like, it's a interesting time to be alive when we're starting to merge with technology in this way. I mean, it's your life, it's your time, it's your energy, it's your attention, it's your focus. Like, that's your life. So I have to like tell myself for like hours on end how to feel safe trying something new with technology, something that I know has done harm to myself and to others. And I feel there is a responsibility on all of us to be mindful of what we put out there into the universe and also onto the internet. I think being truthful is important. I think being honest is important. But I do think there is an art to things. I think there is a finesse to things. And unfortunately, there is a way you need to present yourself to walk through this world in a safe way and embody the fullest extent of your power. You can't just be yourself 100% of the time. Gotta throw a little finesse in there. So, as much as it's a project of something I want to just do and get over and get done, it's also a process of learning myself and practicing these things, because I set out, oh, conversation is the thing that's going to heal everybody. And then really what I witnessed was my own inability to even do that. Like, I believe in something that I feel I'm having a hard time practicing myself. to have open, honest conversations about what is going on in this world so that we can equally collaborate on the best possible ideas for progress. Because we have to start working outside of the systems. We can't wait for these systems to produce something good for us. That's not their intent. That's not why they're there. So we're going to need to collaborate on the outside of those systems. But how do we do that when we can't even communicate well with each other? So what I'm saying basically is I have realized all the holes and pitfalls in my ability to communicate with other people. So I'm like, oh, conversation can heal everybody, but I'm having conversations and having a hard time. I have a slow processing time when it comes to new information. Like, people say things and I don't have a reaction initially, but I may later when I have time to process it, whenever I have time to process it. Depending on how long I even have to process it. Maybe I only get 10 minutes to think about it and realize something. But if I had had an hour to think about it, maybe I would have dug a little deeper. But for the most part, people say wild fucking shit in front of me and think that it's okay because I don't have a strong reaction initially. I'm trying to figure out why. I think there's a lot of reasons for why that is. But it's not a good character trait to have. I believe when you're having conversations that involve life or death. When we're talking about fascism, when we're talking about white supremacy, when we're talking about issues of race and gender, these are topics that are dealing with people's entire livelihoods. We're talking about systems of slavery. We're talking about the reason somebody lost a mother or a father, or a brother or a sister, or a best friend. We're talking about cancer. We're talking about suicide. We're talking about drug use. We're talking about things that have deeply hurt people. And brashness around it, for me, doesn't feel like the feminine way of doing things. I don't know if I've said in a video I've published so far, but that is another one of my goals, is to do things with the power of the feminine. I don't identify with any gender, but I do identify as a member of the feminine collective. And it's like one of the strongest, deepest roots that I have as a being right now. And I turn my head and look a little sideways at the masculine that has been in charge for so long. Actually, this whole time, maybe? For the most part, maybe. We don't really know. Again, history. Who knows what the fuck was going on there or when. When the feminine got buried, when we stopped worshiping the fertile mother and started worshiping the virgin mother, I want to know what the Celts knew. But basically, I want to do my art from a feminine perspective, which doesn't mean charging ahead and doing like the fucking hottest topics and let's be controversial. And I feel Earth's people are an inflamed wound. Their temperature is hot. Everything's sticky and engorged and swollen. When something is inflamed, you don't want to add fire to it. I don't need to add more volatile words and aggressive actions and passionate overextensions of myself to do something good in this world. We can have slow and steady progress. We can also be still and allow things to come to us and cultivate the base for something that can actually hold those things and call those blessings in towards us. The masculine way is to go out and to fetch and to chase and to grab. From what I can tell, the feminine sits here and prepares the soil and asks for the rains to come. It's the right time, it's the right place. It's a deep physical understanding of alchemy. So, as I'm doing these different episodes, I'm realizing that I'm not adhering to those standards that I set out for myself. In favor of what male gurus and how-to people on YouTube would say. They would say like, oh, put it out anyway, like just you gotta like get as many as possible on the books, like be brave, like, and so like all that advice and rhetoric goes against what I actually set out to do, which is something different, which is something soft and loving, which is something that is rebellious and insidious without being overtly violent. It's what I want my contribution to be. I was talking to a good friend of mine and they said, I could never have these conversations with people. Like, I don't know how you're doing it. I think it's fucked up. I think we shouldn't even be allowing these people to speak like this. And, like, I mean, but I don't care that you're doing it. Like, thank God we have people like you. And as I'm saying this out loud, like repeating it sounds like conceited to bring up what somebody said, but I was like, it just felt affirming to know that even if it's something I never publish, to sit and to have these conversations and to force myself to have these experiences, to grow and to learn, I know it's preparing me for something bigger. But when I don't post them, because I look back and I'm like, okay, people said some fucked up shit and I actually don't feel like it's worth putting out there. And I have a lot of complicated feelings about censorship. And then I think to myself, like, oh, am I participating in unfair censorship because I'm deciding, like, what deserves to be platformed and what doesn't? And it's like, yeah, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because if I'm watching it and I'm like, I just don't think this contributes anything good to the fucking world, and I don't post it, I can fucking sleep at night. Like, I can have integrity with myself that I didn't just go out and buy a fucking set of microphones and say like, oh, I want to be famous. I want to make money. How much vitriol is put out into the universe that is causing so much fucking damage? You think Kim Kardashian and all that she's done has no consequence? You think the thousands of women a year that die getting Brazilian butt lifts? You think the millions of women that go through other surgeries and disfigure themselves? What about all the millions of girls and their body dysmorphia issues? Can we completely blame all those things on her? No. But is that one of her major contributions while she's alive? I don't see her products that she sells as benefiting us at all. But she puts out what she puts out in order to sell what she wants to sell. And all that messaging, all that imagery that is out in our world now has serious, tangible, negative consequences. For what? For money, for fame? No. I want to make something real. I want to be able to go to fucking sleep at night and know that I was contributing to making this place a better place. This plane, this timeline that I am on, it's to the point where I'm struggling to demand that the next era of our planet benefit me as well. And to say, I want to help make the world a better place, but for me too, because I deserve it. And my children deserve it. My bloodline deserves to be free. To not be forced to give so much of their life away for nothing. They take a third of our paychecks to fund their wars. And we sit here drinking piss from the sky and saying thank you. Daddy government, thank you, we want more. It's insane what we've done. That the best job you can have as a poor person in America is to serve the elite. One of the best jobs you can have is to serve them food that they could have fucking made themselves at home. Work in a restaurant. It's like one of the best jobs for the best writers, the best artists, the best poets. When they look back at this time, it's going to be like all the fucking... There were service people, and they were creating culture at the same time as holding up silver platters to the rich and the elite. Who just like really needed to eat tiny little bites of tartare tonight. Because they have experienced so much ease and goodness and pleasure in their lives, now they have to expand into having a wine palate. Because that's how comfortable they are. The distribution of wealth on this planet is insane. Because all of us here in America benefit from slavery abroad. In so many ways. And there's no opting out of the system. If you're paying taxes, you're contributing to war. And everywhere you're paying taxes. So, talking to people, they're saying shit. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. But I'm learning. And it's been years that I've been recording. I have like dozens and dozens of episodes, and I like to keep some of the recordings. That way I like have it for my own database, I guess you could say, my own archives. And a lot of times doing these difficult conversations is very personal and results in a very personal interaction with somebody that feels like just having a heart-to-heart with a friend. And afterwards they realize, like, remember, like, dang, like, we recorded that and we listen back and it's just way too personal. Like, it's more than we could even cut out. Like, oh, let's cut out a couple pieces. No, it's like we really get into some shit, and then afterwards you're like, you know what, I actually don't want this published. Like, this is a very intimate moment. So it's like, I'm grateful for those conversations, but also I've had fucking drama around doing a podcast because, I mean, when you're messing with spirituality and other people's spirituality, I mean, it's always drama low-key. It's always drama low-key because it's just like, it's just a clash of different beliefs. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it usually results in interpersonal drama amongst like me and other people. So I've done episodes with people where it turned into something between me and them. And then of course it's like, well, I can't publish something if I'm like beefing with these people. Like, It's not. So it's complicated. It's super complicated. But I love it. I'm learning so much. And I'm sitting here and I'm just really like, huh, I have been doing this for years. And it feels like, oh, I haven't really started because I don't have a lot published. I had a couple published and then I actually pulled them all off. I literally spent all that fucking money to get a domain and fucking publish on every platform. I was on Spotify for like a couple months, on Apple, on YouTube, on everywhere. And I was like feeling good, like, oh, I'm starting this role. And then it was just, I was listening to it and I was like, nah, I'm not proud of it yet. And I don't want to feel like, oh, I got to just start publishing stuff because like this is my pathway. So I got to like, you know, be doing it by next month. By next month, I need to be doing podcasting regularly and doing this and doing that and like this being my full-time life. Like if this is what is meant to be, then like it needs to happen tomorrow. And that's like not true, because when I was basically told that this is a good thing to do by my spirit guides in the universe, I didn't have any skills. Like I felt like I had the skills. I felt like, oh, I can talk to people. I like to record. Like I love to make like cute little videos. I always have. I am really charismatic. I have a lot of really cool friends. Like, yeah, like I'm fucking perfect for that. Hell yeah, I'll do it. Turns out you need like proficiency at things. It This could all be bullshit. Like this could all be like perfectionist drama nonsense, and I'm just like logicking my way into not having to post anything. But like honestly, it just was like I'm spending money getting things edited. I've also discovered like the type of equipment that works for me because I don't have any tech background whatsoever. So I just like spent time on YouTube, geeked out, fucking listening to microphone tests or whatever by like another just random creator, and picked some out that I liked. And I just didn't think about the fact like having like a high tech setup with like XLR mics and like having a fucking podcaster meant that I would have like studio grade audio that I would then have to know how to edit, and I don't know how to do that. And I didn't think about the fact like I have a shitty computer that I got when I was 16, and so now I have to like pay for people to edit the audio. So now I've literally like reduced my whole entire setup to being just these Bluetooth mics in my phone. And it's like I'm also just learning the actual medium of making videos, because I just did like just shit for fun. But the idea of like doing shit like, and wanting to do education, wanting to talk about travel, wanting to talk about politics and sociology and philosophy and just whatever the fuck. It's like, oh, you need a skill set. There's a lot that goes into it. So I'm thankful to myself and I'm proud of myself that I have sat here and actually done the darn thing, because there were so many parts that were like the fuck annoying, where I'm like, this sucks that I just spent all this money on equipment. I've been taking flights to meet with people to record and listen to it afterwards and been like, this sucks. And beating myself up about it, feeling like, oh man, I should have had a like a write out of like the questions I want to ask. Oh, I should have did this, I should have did that, and then like that episode would have been worth it, and I would have posted and I would have gone viral and I would have been successful, and I would be a successful YouTuber already if only I had done X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, because that doesn't even follow my fucking style anyways. And it's also a skill set of being able to cultivate an environment where people feel comfortable, because I think there were some friends and people that I talked to who usually would feel comfortable having these conversations together, but like you start recording and obviously it feels different. So I think I'm actually learning a lot. And that's really cool. Like the hours put in like are actually showing. And I've learned I kind of don't give a fuck about talking to other people right now because I thought like other people would have like intelligent things to say. So I've been thinking more about experts, quote unquote. Maybe that would be fun. But also I meditate and I think of different ideas and things that come to me and it's just like, "Oh, yeah." Like that's a topic that I could sit there and I could talk to myself about it. Maybe I'll write down some questions, I'll interview myself. There are some videos that will require more technical skill because there's a lot of things that I want to do that require editing skills I am not even close to having. But what else? That's kind of it. Yeah, I just wanted to fucking talk about uh why I've been saying that I'm doing podcasting for years now at this point and then like didn't even fucking post anything because um it just isn't up to the standard that I set out for myself at the beginning of this. And even today right now I'm thinking to myself like, yeah, like I'm glad I stuck to those standards because I don't want to go and do some bullshit with this. Not in the beginning, not in the middle, not in the end. Like I don't want to be like, "Oh, let me bullshit until I make enough money to then actually do what I actually want to do." Nah, dude, you're going to get stuck doing the bullshit. So I'm not bullshitting from the fucking motherfucking beginning of this. Like I really had to sit and fucking think to myself like, do I want to edit how I look? Do I want to wear makeup? Do I want to get my lips done? Do I want to get Botox? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that to make myself look gorgeous and perfect and beautiful? And I had to think, like, what is your intention with doing this? Like, do you want to just be another fucking YouTube bitch? Or do you want to, like, make something fucking real and people appreciate it for that versus just your face being symmetrical? And have like, not that there's anything wrong with the other shit. I feel like I sound like a fucking hater and I fucking don't because obviously I wish I looked like those bitches and like had their lives, but it's like I knew in my heart I would not feel like I can call myself a true feminist if I was lying. Now I think I still might do plastic surgery. I definitely do makeup. I definitely like I smooth my videos. Like I like looking nice is important to me, but I'm not gonna motherfucking lie. That's what I'm not gonna motherfucking do. Like I'm not gonna get work done on my face and be out here fucking lying to people. I think that is wrong. I think that is wrong that when young women look at women online, they are seeing a creation. Because I know for me, myself, and our social media addiction, I have to like go out in the real world and look at women's faces to remind myself like that's what actual human beings look like because like I don't know. Like my brain really genuinely feels like everyone's supposed to have like flat, matte, 2D skin. Something's wrong with my fucking brain. And so yeah, I'm not going to contribute to that shit to the best of my ability. What was that to say? That was all just to say that it's like I just want to do things my way, and I wouldn't even say that specifically like a way of integrity because I don't think doing things in a masculine way, doing things with more editing, doing like I don't think there's anything inauthentic about that, but I just feel like it's not actually my style. And I feel like I'm not articulating myself that well. I feel like I sound like a fucking hater. I feel like I sound like just like a bitch that just like doesn't know what she's doing yet. So I'm like hating on people who do know what they're doing. But I also just feel like I could just pioneer like a new way of doing things. If I just stick to my fucking way of doing things. I'll be the first. I don't care. I'm the first in a lot of fucking ways. You don't know what it's like to be number one. That's so sick. I want friends to rollerblade with. Can you see them? Probably not. They're so fucking cute, like rollerblading with their friends at like 11:30. Like what? I want to rollerblade with my homies. So yeah, that's fucking it. That's why I have been podcasting but not actually posting any fucking podcasts because reasons. Yeah, let's lock this one out with a cute little prayer. Let's go. Gracias para todos. Gracias para todos. Me. I'm feeling like this whole video felt and sounded kind of conceited. But it captured who I am and how I feel in this era today, right now, which is always really special. So that you guys could know, and then I could also know, like, who I was and how I felt during that time. I'm gonna let this person pass. I also don't like doing cuts in my shit for the same reason, because it's like, that's not really how people sound. Like, where it's just like, because you're cutting out all the ums and the pauses and whatever. Like, I don't, another thing. I don't want to contribute to what the West calls ADHD. Like, the way we perceive reality completely different, because like what we see online is such like a manufactured version of reality. I just like don't wanna, if I can try to be a long form media that like isn't terrible for your brain. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do cuts. That way you can see me like I'm a normal human. This is like the rate that a normal human talks. But I also say that I would want my art to capture a time and place. Capture a moment in time. So this is what it was like to be an e-girl fucking yapping when she just got off of work and wants to do this full time.